It's almost time for UTS this year. It's less than 2 weeks ago now. We received the official event guide, kind of also listing the mandatory kit list that we need to carry. So I thought I'll go through with you the mandatory kit list and also the hot weather list and the cold weather list, and kind of, yeah, just go through the things that I'll be taking. And some of the things you must carry with you if you're taking part in the Ultra Trail Snowdonia 25K. So yeah, let's get started. So I've got the list on my phone here. So there's the mandatory kit, which regardless of the weather, you have to carry with you. And usually 24 hours before, they will tell you if they think you need cold weather gear or if you might need hot weather gear if they know it's going to be a very hot day. So I'm going to go through that with you today, and also kind of what happened last year as well with in terms of the extra gear. So I'm just going to go through the few mandatory things that you have to carry. So the first thing that it says you have to have is going to be trail shoes. You can't have road shoes, so they must be suitable for trail running. They should have enough grip and kind of tread for you to be safe running on the mountains, because it's quite rocky, and if it happens to be wet, then you don't want to be slipping and sliding. So no road shoes, but you need to have proper trail running shoes. That's one of the first mandatory things you need to have with you. The next mandatory item would be a waterproof jacket that you need to carry with you. I've got the Innovate Storm Shell, I think this one's called. I've had this for a couple of years now, and I do run in it when it's really raining a lot, and it's really good. It's not the most breathable jacket when it's warm, but it definitely keeps me dry. So you need to carry a waterproof jacket with you. This one's really good because you can stuff it into its own pocket, and it's quite small. The seams have to be taped, and it has to be kind of certain criteria that you need to meet. So make sure you check out the details and the criteria. I'll leave a link down below for the mandatory list, and I'll do that for the 25k and all the other distances as well, so you can kind of have a look if you're not running the 25k. But yeah, this is the water jacket that I'm going to be taking with me. The next thing you have to have is a smartphone fully charged, and it says to have the airplane mode switched off. So make sure that you are contactable and reachable. Although last year I found that signal wasn't great, so messages weren't kind of really sending, but you still need to have a fully charged phone with you at all times, so you can call in an emergency or someone can reach you, things like that. So yeah, that's another thing that you have to have with you. The capacity to carry 500 ml of water. I'm going to take my 500 ml soft flask to put in my vest. So on the mandatory kit list, just the standard list, it says 500 ml that you have to be able to carry with you. I'll be taking 2 of those, so I'll definitely be covered for the 500 ml. When I ran it last year, the first checkpoint wasn't until about 14 kilometers in, and that was after climbing Snowdon and coming back down. And it was a really hot day, so I ran out of water kind of before I even got to the top of Snowdon. So I think this year I'm going to take an extra soft flask with me. So I'm going to have 3 500 ml water with me to kind of from the start, and then also be able to fill up when I get to the checkpoint. Also, last year we had the hot weather list that we need to carry, but it's not the full list. So the day before we were told to add another 500 ml of water, so a total of 1 litre water that we needed to carry with us, because it was going to be a hot day and it was really hot. So I'm glad I had more water, but I felt like I needed more. So this year I'm going to take 3 soft flasks, so I'll be 1.5 litres of water. So hopefully it'll be okay, or maybe it's not going to be as hot this year, but we shall see. So hopefully I'll be a bit more prepared this time, and maybe not run it as slow as last time, so I'll be okay. The next thing is emergency food. It recommends you take a minimum of 800 calories worth of food. Last year I had some jelly babies, like a whole pack of jelly babies, and also 2 grenade bars in the back of my pack. Some of you might know I had issues with my vest last year in terms of not being able to get fuel out easily, so I ended up not really eating that much. But as part of the mandatory list, you have to have at least 800 calories of food, emergency food, with you. That could be anything that you've been practicing in. You can even take gels if you prefer, but I think for trail runs, I generally prefer to take real food, like solid food. So this time I'm going to take jelly babies and pan au chocolat. And like I said earlier, checkpoint isn't until about 40 kilometers in. So the first big stretch of the race, you kind of need fuel to kind of keep you going. And I made the mistake last year of not eating enough for various reasons. So I'm going to make sure I have food that I can easily take on kind of every half an hour. So to keep me going, so I don't actually run out of energy and be able to run it a bit faster, hopefully the second half. Another item we need to carry is a Bivy bag. I used this one last year. Well, I didn't use it, I carried it with me. You're not allowed foils or blankets, so it has to be an actual bag. So this is just a bag. It packs down quite small and it's very light, so that's all I really need. Hopefully I won't actually need to use it, but it's there if I need it. So that's part of the mandatory list that you need to carry a Bivy bag. The other thing you're going to need is a whistle. The Salamon vest that I've got does have a whistle, but it's not very loud and it doesn't really like work that well. So I actually purchased a separate whistle just to have in the vest. I just keep it in it. Even when I wash my vest, I kind of just leave it in there. So I just have it all the time. So I've got one of these kind of whistles. These are much louder. So that's part of the mandatory list, that you have to have a whistle. And the last thing on the mandatory list is you need to carry ID with you. So I'll be carrying my driving license because it's smaller than a passport and it's just easy to kind of tuck it in somewhere and yeah, just carry with me. I probably won't need it, but it's on the list that you need to carry. They could potentially just randomly check you throughout the race, so it's good to have everything that's on the list even if you don't need it. So how it worked last year was, when we went to get our bib and our wristbands, we were given a big tray. It was quite big and it had kind of different sections. So one corner it said shoes, so you had to put your shoes in one corner, and then it had whistle and kind of how you're going to carry your water. So it could be your soft flask or your bladder. So it all had kind of sections laid out, and it also had waterproof and, did I say whistle already? So there weren't too many sections, but those are the ones you had to fill with your items. And like I said, if the day before they think you need hot weather gear or cold weather gear, you need to kind of show them that as well before you can get your wristband and your bib. So that was the procedure kind of last year. I imagine it will be similar this year as well. So make sure you're prepared. I didn't actually turn on the notification on the Live Trail app, which was a mistake because they did notify us that we needed more water for race day because it was hot, and I didn't have that come through until I kind of checked just before I got there, which is fine because I actually carried everything with me. So I had my mandatory kit list, the hot weather list and the cold weather list. I actually carried everything to collect my bib because I wasn't sure what I needed, so I had everything anyway. But I could have just left a lot of it at the accommodation without carrying everything, but that was fine. I had everything. So make sure you're prepared and check out the list before you arrive. Then there are 3 things on the hot weather list. So if they do send out a hot weather list kit that you need to carry, these are the 3 items that you need to carry with you. And those are sunglasses is one of them. So I'll be taking the ones that I always run with. These are the Gooder sunglasses. Yeah, these ones don't slip, don't bounce. These are my preferred, just perfect running sunglasses, and I always wear them when I go running. Even when I'm not running, these are just really good sunglasses. I think these were only £30, which is really good. So that's one of the things you need to carry if it's hot sunglasses. The other thing is, it says Sahara Cap, which I don't have, but it also says a combination of something that covers your head and your neck. So I will be taking this anyway, just because it's sunny like last year, and this really worked well when I was running it last year. And I'm going to take this buff, which was given to us last year at Snowdonia UTS. So if you did the UTS 25 last year, you would have got a buff. So this would cover the neck, and then this will cover my head or my face. Or this can also cover head as well. So a combination of these 2 would work, rather than going out and buying a Sahara hat that I would actually never ever wear. And even when it was really hot last year, we weren't told that we needed it. So I wouldn't go out and buy one of those hats unless you already have one, or you've been wanting to get one, or you just know it would work better for you, then go ahead and get one. But you don't have to have a Sahara cap. And then the third thing I've already kind of mentioned is you need the capacity to carry 1 litre of water instead of the 500 ml just on the mandatory list. So if they say you need to carry a hot weather kit with you, then you need to make sure you can carry 1 litre of water at a time. So those are the only 3 things on the hot weather list that you need to have extra on top of the mandatory list if they do think it's going to be a hot day. And the next thing is going to be the cold weather kit, and there are 4 things on the list. Considering the time of the year, I can't imagine they would need us to carry the cold weather kit, which I hope they won't, because there's quite a few extra things that needs to be carried around. And also for the 25k, I don't feel like the weather's going to be drastically different from start to finish. Don't quote me on it though. Make sure you kind of read the notification and keep up to date what you actually need to carry. But these are the 4 things that you need if they do kind of say you need to carry a cold weather kit. One of them is a warm second layer, and that's not the waterproof layer that you're taking. So this is additional to the cold weather second layer. So if you have a warm long sleeve layer, and I think it needs to meet certain criteria as well, so make sure you check that out. But that would need to be carried if they release cold weather gear. The next thing would be long trousers or leggings that cover the whole leg. I have some waterproof trousers that I will take with me that hopefully I won't need to carry, but it will be good if it does rain. The other thing you can do is also have long socks. As long as your whole legs are covered, I think that's okay based on what I've read on the mandatory kit list. So rather than actually, if you don't have kind of long leggings or long trousers, then and only have shorts or 3/4 length trousers, then you can always have long socks that cover your whole leg, so that would count, I think. The third thing is warm waterproof gloves, which I don't actually have. Last year I borrowed a pair, so I'm going to borrow a pair again. I normally don't really need waterproof gloves like day to day, even when I run in the rain or when I just go out and do things in the winter. I don't normally need waterproof gloves, so I don't want to spend kind of money to buy a pair of gloves just for like an event like this. I'm going to borrow a pair again, but again, I'm hoping I won't need to carry them because the pair that I borrowed were a little bit bulky, so they weren't designed kind of for running or be lightweight or anything, so hopefully I won't need to carry them. But that's the third thing on the list, warm waterproof gloves. And the fourth thing is a beanie hat. I might actually take the one that was sent to me from Ultra Challenge when I did the Bath Ultra Marathon in March. When I signed up, it said a free beanie, and so they sent me a free beanie, so I might take that one as part of the cold weather list. But again, hopefully I won't need it, but I'll take that with me. Let me know what your absolute must have when you go on a trail run. I would like to know kind of anything that would be useful to have or just something extra to carry around just in case. So it'd be very interesting if you let me know what your absolute must-haves are. So on the UTS mandatory kit list, there's also a section where it has recommended items to take with you. They're not mandatory, you don't have to carry them, but it's kind of things that it's good to have. There are also a few things that are kind of things that I think would be good to have and carry. So I've combined the list and kind of go through some of the things that I think will be useful to have or carry with you, but again, not mandatory. If you're a lady, sports bra is a must for running and it's just for comfort, and yeah, I just think sports bra is quite important for lady runners. Depending on the weather, just make sure you wear comfortable clothing. So if it's a hot day, I would be sleeveless. I would wear whatever the thinnest thing that I have would be if it's a hot day, and obviously if it's cold and windy and raining, then dress appropriately. So make sure you're comfortable in the clothes you're wearing. If it's going to be hot like last year, it will be sleeveless top, and I'll be wearing shorts as well because it's just really hot, and there are no shades when you get up to the mountain. So yeah, make sure you are kind of dressed for the weather. The next thing is not mandatory, but I think is really important to have so you can carry everything with you, which will be my Salamon Advanced Skin 12-litre vest, which I bought at the start of this year. I've also done a review on it if you want to kind of check the video out. I also made a video on how to size if you're between sizes like I was. So this will be the vest that I'll be carrying to put all my food and anything extra. So yeah, this would be my kind of recommended item to have. This is quite a recent purchase and it's a game changer, and I would highly recommend, which is the Quiver to put my poles in. So this is a Salamon, I don't remember the exact name, but I'll leave a link down below. I didn't actually get this from the Salamon website because it was a little bit cheaper on Amazon, so that's where I got it from. But this made using poles so easy, so I'll highly recommend it, and I'll definitely be using this when I do the UTS 25. And having a quiver means I'm going to have poles. I'm going to use the Harrier poles that I bought also recently. Last year, the poles really helped me when I had problems with my knee and kind of coming back down the mountain. So even if I don't have any issues or any pain, I still think it makes such a big difference when you're climbing a steep mountain or any steep hills. And if you do have kind of some aches and pains, just coming back down the mountain really helps having some poles. So I would definitely recommend if you have them. Another thing I would carry would be a dry bag to keep kind of my waterproofs in there and anything that I don't want to get wet. If I need to carry a warm layer because we're told to carry the cold weather gear, then I don't want it to get wet if it's raining. So a dry bag would keep everything dry in case you need to kind of put them on, or anything that you don't want to get wet. I think it's really nice to have a dry bag. This is very light. I got this from Mountain Warehouse. They're quite kind of cheap. They're not cheap, but they're inexpensive, I would say, very affordable. So you kind of just fill your items in there. And the other thing that's really good is that you can compact your items. So if you want to kind of make sure you have space and you don't want anything to be too bulky, you can kind of pack everything down, like push the air out and pack everything quite small, and then put it in the back of your running pack. The other thing I'll carry would be from Harrier is a reusable cup. I used it last year when I got to the first checkpoint. They had Coca-Cola, so I kind of just drank out of this rather than using kind of disposable cups. It's just handy to have, and then they fold down so small you don't even barely feel them. So, and it's really light, and yeah, it's just quite good for the environment as well. So I'll be taking that with me. Because I'll be having food and snacks and things, I'll probably take a little biodegradable bin bag that I usually use to clean up the litter tray for my cat. I'll probably take a couple of those ones to just put rubbish in. So obviously you're not supposed to litter, and you shouldn't, just to carry rubbish with me. And as you know, the new Salamon vest doesn't have the trash pocket. They removed it, so I don't want kind of dirty, sticky rubbish kind of just inside my hydration vest. So I'll take a little bag to put rubbish in to take it to the finish and dispose of waste. Another thing that's good to carry would be a first aid kit, which I got one from Harrier, quite small. If you don't have a first aid kit, I would still recommend carrying some plasters with you, or sanitizer or anything kind of just in case you have a little fall or you have blisters or you have a scratch. The other day when I went out for a run, I was collapsing my running poles. So my skin managed to get caught between the poles when I was collapsing them. I don't even know what I did, but I ended up bleeding. And that was the one time that I didn't have plasters with me, that my thumb was just bleeding. So it was very annoying. So make sure you kind of have some sort of first aid kit or some plasters with you. And it's just always handy, like I say, for blisters or anything like that. So yeah, that's what I would recommend. The next thing would be some anti-chafe. When I first started running loads, I felt like I was chafing a little bit more kind of around my sports bra area. But over time, I don't feel like it's that much of a problem. And even when I wear shorts, I thought I would get chafing kind of between my legs wearing shorts in the summer, but it's not really been an issue. Touch wood, it's not going to be. But I'll still put some on because it could happen. You just never know. And also, I've not done really long runs with my hydration vest. Sometimes I can kind of feel the vest touching my collarbone when I run. I don't know if it's a hot day or if I do a longer run, it will chafe kind of my collarbone and neck. So I'll probably put some around there as well, just in case it chafes. So that's good to have. I would recommend. The other thing I would highly recommend, especially after last year's really hot run up the mountain, SPF, sun cream, or anything that you want to call. I normally have SPF on my face anyway, but being exposed to the sun for hours with no shade on a hot day, I definitely use sun cream. I use every time I go out for a run, even not in a race or anything during summer, I always have sun cream. As you can see, Nivea is my my go-to brand because they're just so good. And I like these ones specifically because, like this face cream, it says shine control, and it's just none of it is sticky or kind of, it doesn't feel thick and heavy. So that's why I like these ones specifically. And these are SPF 50. This one says 50 plus. So whenever I run out, I'll just get more of these. This one's a little bit low, so I need to get some more of these. But definitely sun cream if you're running in the sunshine. And something I mentioned earlier that isn't mandatory, but if they do suggest you carry hot weather gear, then you'll probably need a visor or a hat. I used this one last year at UTS and it makes such a big difference. It was so hot and the sun was obviously kind of coming this way. Even when I wear sunglasses, the sun will kind of come in kind of between my glasses and my face, and it was just really kind of annoying, and it would heat up my face so much when I go out wearing just sunglasses in the summer. So this makes a big difference to kind of just keep my face cool. I think when in the summer, when you're very hot and struggling, when my face gets hot, I feel like everything just struggles a bit more. Like my whole head just feels really hot. So if you can keep your face cool on a hot day and a long kind of event, it makes a big difference. So I would definitely recommend this, even if they don't say you need to carry it. I think some sort of peak visor would be really useful. Another thing good to have is a GPS watch, which is also on their recommended list. I'll be using my Garmin Forerunner 955 Solar, which I kind of upgraded from the 255 this year. So I'll be excited to use this one because last year I had the 255. So yeah, I will be using my Garmin for that. Another thing that they recommend on the list, and I generally agree as well, is to have some cash with you, because sometimes places might not take cards, or for whatever reason. I think just having some cash with you is a good idea. So they recommend having £20 cash, which I have in my first aid kit. So it's always in there. So if I take my first aid kit, I would always have some cash with me. So those are the mandatory items you need to carry with you if you're running the Ultra Trail Snowdonia 25 this year. Like I say, there'll be a more extensive list for the longer distances, so I'll leave a link down below if you want to check those out. But for the 25k, there's not too many things that you actually need to carry with you, but make sure you do have them, because you don't want to be disqualified. That would be the worst thing, making all your way there to be disqualified. And make sure you've got your hot and cold weather gear as well. It's all quite straightforward. Like I say, we didn't really have to carry much of the hot weather gear. It was just extra water, and it was definitely not cold weather gear last year. So I think for the 25k, it'll be quite straightforward again this year. Hopefully it'll be a nice dry day and it'll be pleasant. Maybe not as hot as last year, but definitely dry would be nice. So yeah, that's less than 2 weeks away and I'm excited. I'm hoping my knee will be okay to kind of run it faster this time. I will take you along with me running up and down Snowdon again, hopefully in a faster time. Hope you enjoyed this video and you found it somewhat useful. If you're running UTS, do let me know in the comments. I know some of you who watch my videos are going to be there, so it'll be really nice to see who else is going and how prepared you are for the event. It'll be a great day. It'll be so fun. I really enjoyed it last year, despite kind of the pain and getting a DNF. I really enjoyed it, so I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah, so thank you so much for watching, and I will speak to you very soon. Bye.